This is going to be a real treat for the entire family. Joining me this morning to talk about the big event that's going on all weekend long, Jason Clevett from Reptile Parties, Inc. and Kayla Seguin is also here. Good morning to both of you, first of all. I know you guys kind of get left out of the mix because we're so excited about what you're holding in your hands. So hi to both of you.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, I want to get all the details of the reptile party and everything that's going on for folks. So let's tell them all about it. We get a chance to meet a sloth. You've got a gator with you this time around, an armadillo, tons of different animals. Jason, tell us about what's happening this weekend.
So Little Ray's Nature Centre, which is the largest exotic animal rescue in Canada, is doing a wildlife festival, and it's been touring across Western Canada. And we've got the sloth, we've got the armadillo, we've got a skunk, gator, owls, about 30 live exhibits of different animals. And it's a great opportunity to meet some of these animals up close. We have rotating shows, a reptile show and a bird and mammal show. Stick around for the reptile show. I know you're coming for the sloth, but the reptile show is pretty awesome too. And yeah, it's a great event. We've been to like Saskatoon, Red Deer, Regina, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, and just received like such an outpouring of support and education for people. And that's really what this is about, is backyard education, the things that we can do in our own backyard to help our species. Because a lot of people have no idea that we have 600 endangered species in this country. They can rattle off like your pandas, your elephants, but ask them an endangered species besides a polar bear in Canada and you get a blank look. And also responsible pet ownership. So obviously a sloth and an armadillo aren't a good choice for a pet. An alligator is not a good choice for a pet. Fortunately not legal in Alberta either. But
that's good.
Other animals like boa constrictors or iguanas or tortoises, blue-tongued skinks, bearded dragons are. So it's just that message of responsible pet ownership and knowing what you're getting into prior to getting a pet.
And where do you get these animals from? Where they're rescue animals, all of them?
90% of the animals are rescues. The sloth is not, but I'll let Kayla give you a bit of history on Chloe here. Okay,
Kayla, tell us about Chloe, because everybody is so excited. There are people in the room, there are people outside of the room. Everybody's so excited because it's just one of those things that we don't ever see a sloth in real life, and certainly not up close like this.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not something you see every day, but she is really cool. Now, she's what's called a Linnaeus two-toed sloth. And Chloe here is only 1.5 years old. She's still a baby, so she's only about half grown right now. When full grown, she can actually double in size, which is pretty crazy to think about because you look at her now and she's already a good size. Now, a little backstory about Chloe. We did not get Chloe from the wild or anything like that, but her grandparents were actually illegally smuggled into the country. So they were seized and taken away from border guards, and they were brought to a breeder, one of the very few breeders in the world who can legally breed sloths.
Oh, wow.
And that's how we got Chloe and her brother Roger. Now, Chloe lives at the Hamilton facility with myself, along with a lot of other animals. We have over 500 rescued animals in our care just at the Hamilton facility alone. So, like Jason said, we are one of the largest exotic rescues in North America. And, you know, when we come out here, we're just trying to educate people as to why these animals shouldn't be made into pets, because as much as we love what we do and having all these animals around, we definitely don't want to keep having more of these animals come in and be in our care and stuff like that.
So let's talk about Chloe a little bit, because you're holding her, but we're not allowed to touch her. So explain why, because we care about her health and making sure that she stays healthy.
Yeah, and that's just because she's very susceptible to bacteria and diseases. Believe it or not, sloths are one of the dirtiest mammals on planet Earth. When she's in the wild, she can grow moss and algae in her fur. Bugs will actually burrow inside of her fur and stuff like that. So when we have her out with the public, we make sure that nobody gets to touch her. And that's because even when we touch her, she has her own designated staff member. So there's only a select few staff members that can even interact with her because she's very, very susceptible. So when we do touch her, we have to scrub up as best as we can, perfectly clean clothes. If anything was to touch our shirts or our pants or anything like that, we would actually have to go out and change our outfit just to go back to hold Chloe. So whenever we have her out, we try to make her feel as comfortable as possible while making sure she's nice and healthy and clean and stuff like that.
Now, she is waving around her hand because she's looking for some food, I gather, and that claw that looks pretty deadly. And you have to be careful, I'm sure.
It's not super deadly or anything like that. Basically, these guys hang in trees for about 90% of their lifetime. So when she's swinging like that, she's kind of reaching for my arm as basically looking for a branch. She's looking at me as a big tree, basically saying, let me just hang off you for a little bit. But she does know I have some sweet potato here with me, so she's looking for a little snack.
She is obviously likes vegetables. Maybe she could come talk to my son a little bit. But it is cute because obviously that is her natural position. She seems to want to be upside down and lean her head back. That's just the way that sloths would hang around.
Yeah. These guys hang upside down for about 90% of their lifetime. The only time they come right side up is either to mate or to go to the bathroom, which, believe it or not, is roughly every 10 days. These guys do not go to the bathroom very often, but when they do, they can lose up to 20% of their body weight, which is pretty crazy to think about. If we did that, we'd have to go to a hospital.
You're not kidding. What do they eat? What does a sloth eat generally? You're feeding her, yams, but there's more, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, lots more. So two-toed sloths have a really wide variety for a diet. So every day, Chloe gets parboiled rice, some sweet potatoes, some leafy greens, some fig, a high-protein dog food, and some leafy greens, that kind of stuff, keeping her nice and healthy. Where in the wild, she would just eat leaves off the trees, and she would eat that for the rest of her life. Or if she had some bugs burrowing inside of her fur and she wanted a snack, she would just reach back, grab a bug from her fur, and just eat it right away.
Have snacks will travel. You've got your own little buffet bar right on your fur.
I don't recommend eating any form of bugs that grow in your fur, though.
Good call.
That doesn't sound healthy.
No, it really, or delicious at all.
No.
Okay, Jason, what have you got over there? Because that's a pretty cool looking animal.
Yeah, he's all stretched out and relaxed, which is kind of rare for him. Usually he's curled up in a ball, but this is Armando. He is a Brazilian three-banded armadillo. So
Armando the armadillo.
Armando the armadillo.
Excellent.
From Brazil. So different than the ones you would typically see in the U.S. A bit smaller, a bit less likely to carry leprosy, and a bit cuter as well.
So when folks come and see the show this weekend, how close can they get to the animals?
They can get really close. So it does depend on the animal. Some of the animals are hands off, but like you can stand next to a handler with the owl. You're not going to hold the owl, but you're really close to it. We walk back and forth on stage with Chloe. So depending on kind of the crowds, if you time it right, you can get a picture with like Chloe's head right next to yours. So a lot of people are getting what we've dubbed a slothy.
Slothy.
Other animals, like we have a pet section which has like bunnies and ferrets and tortoises and guinea pigs, so you get to pet those. We have different reptiles that rotate through. After the shows is sort of the big time to run around and get your interaction on, because that's when our feature animals are out.
Okay, and there's a $15 or $14.50 admission fee to get in, but I do notice that you're helping people out who might have some difficult circumstances and have give them the opportunity to see these animals as well.
Absolutely. So it's $14.50, but if you go to the Facebook page and share the event and show us a screenshot of the door, it'll drop down to $12.50.
Good.
And if that doesn't work for you, we know money can be tight for people. Feel free to email info@raisereptiles.com, and they'll be happy to work something out for you. As well, Saturday morning we have a special needs hour. So for people that might be a bit more sensitive to crowds or noise, we don't do any structured shows during there. We just have the animals out, and that's free of charge as well. So if you have someone that special needs in your family and you want them to have this experience, please bring them out on Saturday morning. We'd love to see you. Okay, so it starts Friday, runs right through Monday. So it truly is a great family day weekend event, and you've changed the venue to give a little more space. It's at Northland Village Mall. So once again, Facebook and through the website. LittleRaysNatureCenter.com.
LittleRaysNatureCenter.com. Thank you so much for bringing these guys in. They're amazing animals. So hopefully everybody will see the Facebook video and have a little peek at Chloe and come out and join you this weekend and learn more about these really spectacular animals. Thank you both. Appreciate it very, very much. We have Kayla Seguin and Jason Clevett from Reptile Parties Incorporated. So see you later, Chloe. Thanks for coming in.